Hi, and how are you? Today starts a program just for you from the Salina Media Connection. People from the Salina community are getting together for a program where they'll be telling stories, dancing, singing, all kinds of fun stuff. And because it is just for you, we're calling it the Kids Connection. It's going to be on every morning at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's about arts, health, wellness, and education. Like I said, lots of fun stuff you'll want to see. Again, it's on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. The Kids Connection, just for you. Come on, join in. I know you'll have fun.
Whistling a tune that sounded really sweet. When all of a sudden I heard a loud sound, I looked in the sky and this is what I found. Flying disco chicken, dancing and a singing. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, picking and a grinning. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. It landed on the street down by my feet, dancing the disco to a funky disco beat. When all of a sudden it flew back into the sky, I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. Flying disco chicken, dancing and a singing. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, picking and a grinning. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. I told my friends about the flying disco chicken, showed them the dance so they knew I wasn't kidding. Song and began to dance. Started to sing the flying disco chicken dance. Flying disco chicken, dancing and a singing. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, picking and a grinning. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. It landed on a fence post down by the park, jamming and a picking on a rocking guitar. The kids in the park dancing, sang the disco. Come and join me before he has to fly away. Flying disco chicken, dancing and a singing. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, picking and a grinning. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, dancing and a singing. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings. Flying disco chicken, picking and a grinning. Flying disco chicken, just a flapping its wings.
Hi, and welcome to Bring the Zoo to You. I'm Laura. I am one of the hoofstock keepers here at Rolling Hills, and today we're going to be talking about rhinos. So with me right here we have Joya, who is our Indian rhino. Joya is 31 years old, and he has been at the zoo since he was about 4. So as you can see, he has very rough skin. So Indian rhinos do spend most of their time in the water. And he also is standing here because I'm touching him. Rhinos have very sensitive skin and they love to be touched. So let's see if he'll play with us. I got some bananas for him. They are his favorite. He will do a lot for bananas. Hi, buddy, come here. Joya. He also is a large animal, so I can't force him to do anything. He has to choose to do what he wants. So we do a lot of enrichment with these guys. I don't know if you can see there's a tire down there that he likes to manipulate. I have a feed bag that I'm going to give him. And then he also has hanging enrichment that we regularly give them. So he's opening his mouth because he wants me to give him the banana right now. So we do have him trained to lift his head and then to open on command so that we can check his mouth and also throw food in there, which he really likes. Obviously right now I don't need to ask for it because he sees his bananas. So as you can see right here, Joya has a prehensile lip. So he uses this to grab leaves off of trees and to also in the water pull up aquatic plants because that would be most of his diet. Up, open, good boy. So Joya is pretty notorious. Most people kind of know him around the zoo since he has been here so long and he has such a personality. Now if you come here in the summer, he is going to be out in his pool, and most likely you're only going to see his little ears sticking up. And most people think he's a hippo, but he's not. He's our rhino. So he has a flat horn. We often get asked if we trim or cut his horn. We did not. So rhinos actually self-maintenance their horns. So that means they choose what length they want to have it at, and they keep them that length. So he used to have a little bit bigger horn, and when he was sparring with his brother, he actually knocked it off, and then since then has just kept it short. Boy. All right, so one last thing I'm going to give him before we go to talk to Uzazi is a paper bag. He loves paper bags. He'll take it and he'll push it around on the ground and play with it, and then eventually he will dunk it in his water, which is always fun to clean up later, but he enjoys it. So. All right, so let's go see if Uzazi wants to come talk to us. All right, so now we've moved over to look at Uzazi, our white rhino. Uzazi is 28 years old, and he has also been here since he was young. And as you can hear in the background, Joya got to his bag and is now going to make a whole bunch of noise. So I brought a sweet potato for Uzazi. He really likes them, and he likes to smash them. So that's one of the forms of enrichment we do. We do a lot of food enrichment because it's something new to them. It's something that they can manipulate. So he will smash that with his horn, and then he'll eat all the pieces. Good boy. So Uzazi has a much calmer demeanor than Joya does. He's pretty relaxed. He kind of likes to lounge around. He enjoys naps, especially outside. He loves to sleep in his sand. And overall, it's just kind of a little bit slower moving animal. That doesn't mean he can't move fast. Rhinos can actually run very fast. They walk on their tiptoes, which means they can turn on a dime, and they can also pick up speed very quickly. They're very impressive, especially when you see an animal that size moving that quickly. So you can see that he has two horns, and his are a little bit bigger. Naturally, white rhinos and black rhinos, their horns get much bigger than the Indian species do. And you can also see kind of the shape of it where he's been rubbing it down and shaping it himself. The other unique thing about white rhinos is their big, fat, wide lip. So that's actually where their name comes from. Most people think it's because of their color. It's not. There was a misinterpretation with the language because they originally were called the word for wide in Afrikaans down in South Africa, and people mistook that in English and started calling them white, and then that's kind of how it progressed into calling black rhinos. So it's actually because of their wide lip, and that wide lip is great for grazing and keeping their head on the ground. You can see he has a very large head. So his head alone weighs about 500 pounds. And this big mass up here, this is all muscle. And he needs this to help keep his head up and to pull it up for grazing and for drinking and that kind of a thing. So that is just all muscle. So he can't lift his head super high. He can a little bit more than this, but not a lot, whereas Joya can lift it pretty much all the way. So they just have a little bit different dexterity. And you can see like their body's shapes too. Uzazi is a little bit shorter, a little bit more round, kind of built a little bit more like a tank than Joya is. So difference in enrichment for like Joya, we like to give him things that kind of keep him busy, and he really likes tactile stuff he can rub on and feel. Uzazi likes things he can smash. So his favorite enrichment is things like barrels and boxes and bags because he just smashes them. So it's kind of difference in personality and also difference in like species of rhino. So I think that's it. Thanks again for tuning in to today's episode of Bring the Zoo to You. And I'm Laura. Thank you.
Hello everybody, Thad Beach here. I want to show you a little instrument. You might have the stuff around your house. You might not think you've got an instrument sitting around your house because you just might not know. Now, it used to be I had to use a comb a lot more, you know, but as I got older, I didn't have as much hair, so my combs didn't get as much use, you know. So I happened to have an old red comb I hadn't used in a while. I got some wax paper, okay? Now, wax paper is kind of like the paper your family might use when they bake something, stuff doesn't stick on it, it'd be in one of your kitchen drawers. Now, you know, everybody today has to be pretty careful the way things are about putting things in our mouth. So you might see my little hand sanitizer, all this stuff I have, including my hands. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do right now. I'm just gonna, since I am gonna be touching my mouth, I'm gonna put a little of that sanitizer on my hands right now, just to be extra safe. It doesn't hurt, doesn't smell too bad. They say you gotta get your thumbs a little. So, now I've already washed my comb, and I know my paper's kind of clean because I cut these out and they've been sitting around for about a week waiting, you know, so they're safe. Now what you'll do is you'll fold your piece of paper in half, and you'll take your comb, and you'll put your paper over your comb. Now the trick is to pull it to the side a little bit, okay? So you have your wax paper on top of the teeth of the comb. These are called the teeth. Part of it has the teeth are smaller and they're closer together, and the other half, they're bigger teeth and they're spaced out a little bit. Now, you put your paper over your comb, fold it in the middle, take your thumbs and finger and kind of stretch it to the side. Now your mouth has to do a job too. You have to go. Can everybody give it a try? Kind of thinking I ought to get my fly swatters out hearing that sound. Sounds like a bunch of flies buzzing around. What'll happen is you get this closer to your lips. Right before you touch them, your lips will start to tickle a little bit. And sometimes it tickles so bad, like you just have to stop. Now you can't press too hard or you'll deaden the sound. So you have to just find that right little touch where it starts to vibrate the paper and the sound gets louder. Now, I play the harmonica a lot. I know on harmonica I move this way and that way to make the notes go up and down. So when I'm playing sometimes, I'll be moving my head around. People sometimes think I'm doing a lot more than I am, but it makes you kind of look cooler doing it like that. Let's try a little tune together. If you don't have a comb and wax paper, you can just start to practice this sound. You put your lips together lightly and you hum, but your hum's got to go into your lips. Let's play that song called This Old Comb. Oh, wait, it's this old man, but we can call it this old comb. Everybody ready? This old man, he played one, he played knick-knack on my comb with a Not a bad start. Let's try one more quick little thing. Remember in music class how you sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the musical scale? Let's try that. Now your natural voice might start out a different place. You don't have to sing the exact same notes I do, but I want you to try to follow along and get all those sounds in. I'll show you what's the most comfortable for me. Oh, that's not it. No, that's too high. Let's try it one last time together. Get your combs ready. If you don't have combs, get your lips ready. 1, 2. Well, I'm Thad Beach. Thanks for stopping by the Kids Connection. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Come back as much as you can. There's a lot of fun stuff going on here at the Kids Connection. Take care.
Hi there, welcome back to Bringing the Zoo to You. I'm Brooke, Hoofstock Keeper here at Rolling Hills Zoo, and today I'm going to show you something that we do with our Indian rhino, Joya. Because Indian rhinos spend so much time in and around water, their skin is often wet, and that helps keep their skin healthy. So we do 2 things here at the zoo to help keep Joya's skin healthy. One of those is in a big pond out in the yard in the summer months. But in the winter months, without a pond, he gets a shower every day where we just sprinkle the hose over him. But once a week, he gets a bath. And Joya really likes his baths because he gets a lot of brushing. So the first thing we do when we give Joya a bath is we rub all the skin off that's dry. Good boy. And he loves this. It's just like exfoliating our skin. We exfoliate his before giving him a bath. He really likes it under his belly. So after we've gotten some of the skin off of him, he's ready to hose down. And there are times when he doesn't like the hose down quite as much as the rubbing. All right. Joya. Come here. And then now it's back to his other favorite spot, which is when we apply the rhino body wash, which is specially made for animals, especially pachyderms with this thick skin. Good boy. So I like to just put it all over his body, his legs, under the folds of his skin, especially at the top. Good boy. Come here, big boy. Sometimes he can be just a little stubborn. stubborn. But most of the time when he does it like this, when we're applying the body wash, is because he doesn't want to move because he thinks we're going to stop doing it. And he loves the gentle water. He knows what's going to come next. He knows the brushing is going to come next. Hi, big boy. Good boy. All right, so after I kind of sprayed a little bit all over his body, I like to take a bucket and dump it all over, and try not to dump it on me. Good boy. Julia. Julia. Hi, buddy. Hi, big boy. Alright, so then after we have applied the body wash, we give Joya a nice scrub down because the body wash works best if it sits for 7 minutes. So basically, Joya's in 7 minutes of heaven just being brushed. So then we want to brush everywhere that we had gotten that body wash. Especially under there. Oh yeah, that's his favorite. Good boy. That's a good boy. Gotta scrub under those armpits so he doesn't stink, right, Joya? So after 7 minutes, we do what we do with our body wash and our shampoo. It's time for him to be rinsed. And I always like to watch him rinsed in the beginning and at the end because you can kind of see just like the dirt fall away and stuff. It's rewarding for me. All right, Joya. You ready to get rinsed? Now that the bath is all done, Joya is going to go out and enjoy the sun and do some air drying. I hope you guys come out soon and we can see him out in the pool. A lot of people mistake him actually for a hippopotamus, but it's just Joya. Just watch when he's all the way down in the water and just his little nostrils and his ears pop out. It's going to be really cute. We hope to see you guys soon.
So glad you could join us. Keep watching. There's lots more.
Open Mind Storytime with Enchanted Circle Theater.
Hi there. Welcome to Open Mind Storytime. My name is Melissa Redwin, and I'm a performing and teaching artist with Enchanted Circle Theater. Today I'm so excited to read a book called Her Right Foot by Dave Eggers with art by Sean Harris. I chose this book because it reminds me that we are making history every day. It's ultimately a story about freedom and justice. This book was given to my daughter by her Auntie Rachel because I know you'll want to know more about Madame Liberty. Her right foot. You have likely heard of a place called France. If you've heard of France, you may have heard of the French. They are the people who live in France. You may have also heard of something called the Statue of Liberty. Did you know that the Statue of Liberty comes from France? This is true. This is a factual book. One day, a Frenchman named Edouard de la Boulaye had an idea. The idea was to celebrate the 100 years the United States of America had been around by giving them a giant sculpture. So he convinced another Frenchman, a Frenchman with an Italian last name, to design the sculpture. This artist's name was Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Bartholdi designed the statue. He first made very small models of the sculpture, then larger ones, and finally one that is the one we know, which stands 305 feet above the water. This final full-size version was covered with a thin copper skin. The skin is about as thick as 2 pennies. That is not very thick. Here is a rendering of Bartholdi and his team. He had a team. He did not work alone. He did not like working alone. Constructing the statue's hand. Notice that the hand is bigger than these men. Thus, they made the statue in many parts. These parts were assembled in New York City. Now, wait. First, they were assembled in Paris. Did you know this? Ask your friends and even your teachers if they knew that before the Statue of Liberty was assembled in New York, she was first constructed in Paris. Your friends and teachers will be astounded. They will be impressed. They might think you are fibbing, but you are not fibbing. This really happened. The Statue of Liberty stood there, high above Paris, for almost a year in 1884. After they assembled the statue in Paris, they took it apart. But we just put it together, the workers said. Oh, that is absurd, they said. They said all this in French, the language of the French, a people who appreciate the absurd. In 1885, after they took it apart, they put the parts in 214 crates and put these crates on a boat. The boat was called the Isère. The boat traveled over the Atlantic Ocean and made its way to a city called New York, which is in a state also called New York. Hundreds of workers, perhaps 214 of them, took the pieces out of the 214 boxes, then began to rivet the pieces together. Assembling the statue took 17 months, and it all happened on what was then called Bedloe's Island. Bartholdi liked to see the sculpture rise above the harbor. Sometimes he watched the construction from the water. Sometimes he watched it from the land. Usually he was wearing a sturdy black hat, for he, like most European men of the time, favored sturdy black hats. You may have noticed by now that the pictures of the Statue of Liberty in this book have her colored brown. You may have thought the illustrator of this book was not so good at his job, because we all know the Statue of Liberty to be a certain greenish blue. But the Statue of Liberty was made of copper, and copper starts out brown. Then very slowly, when left outside for long periods of time, copper will eventually oxidize. And when it does, it turns this blue-green color. So the Statue of Liberty that everyone in New York saw being constructed was actually brown. The Statue of Liberty, in fact, was brown for about 35 years. The statue turned green around 1920 and has been this color ever since. Perhaps you already knew this? And you may have known that the book the statue is carrying, the one in her left hand, features the date, July 4th, 1776, on which the Declaration of Independence was signed. And you may know that the 7 spikes on her crown represent the 7 seas on earth, and the 7 continents, and the sun's rays too. And you probably know that the torch she carries is a symbol of enlightenment, lighting the path to liberty and freedom. And you might have known that at one point, Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb and the record player, once proposed to have a giant record player inside the Statue of Liberty. He did. He wanted the statue to be able to speak. In the end, though, this idea was considered a bit strange and was not pursued. And did you know that the interior of the statue was designed by another Frenchman by the name of Eiffel? That's right, the same Eiffel who, a few years later, would design the Eiffel Tower. And did you know that while the statue was first being constructed in Paris, a bunch of Parisians, mostly writers, they liked to eat, actually dined in the area just below the statue's knee? This too is true. While the statue was rising, Bartholdi set up a lunch 4 stories up to impress and enthrall these French writers who, being difficult to impress and enthrall, were at least mildly amused. But there is one thing that you might not know, and this is the central point to this book, a point the author apologizes for taking so long to get to. The point is that even if you have seen a picture of the Statue of Liberty, or many pictures of the Statue of Liberty, or even hundreds of pictures of the Statue of Liberty, you probably have not seen pictures of her feet. And even if you have seen pictures of her feet, you probably have not seen pictures of the back of her feet, in particular, her right foot. What do you notice when you see this picture? That's right. She is going somewhere. She is on the move. Let's pause here and collect ourselves and think about this. Let's discuss this. Let's think about and discuss the fact that this is the largest sculpture in all the land and the most iconic symbol of the United States of America. Let's talk about the fact that this statue has welcomed millions of visitors and immigrants to the USA. People talk about her unusual headwear. They talk about her gown, which seems a very heavy kind of garment and would likely result in serious lower back issues. They talk about her beautiful torch and the severe look on her face. But no one talks about the fact that she is walking. This 150-foot woman is on the go. Every time we see the Statue of Liberty in pictures, or any time we imagine the Statue of Liberty, we see her standing still, very still, like, well, a statue. But she is moving. She weighs 450,000 pounds and wears a size 879 shoe, and she is moving. How could we all have missed this? Or even if we saw this and noticed this, how is it that we have seen and noticed a 450,000 pound human on her way somewhere and said, just another 150-foot woman walking off a 150-foot pedestal? And most important, where is she going? Is she going to Soho to get a panini? Is she going to the West Village to look for vintage Nico records? No. No. She is facing southwest, so she is facing New Jersey. Could she be going to Trenton? Wait, no, she is facing southeast. So she is not going to New Jersey, but she is going somewhere. But where? Why is she moving? There are certain things we know. We know that around her feet are chains. They are broken chains, implying that she has freed herself from bondage. We know that Bartholdi wanted us to know this. He wanted us to see the chains. People have talked about the chains, but few talk about the foot that is so obviously in mid-stride, about the fact that her entire right leg is in mid-stride. What does this mean? What does this mean that we often forget about this right foot, this right leg? Here is an idea. Here is a theory. Here is a reminder. If the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom, if the Statue of Liberty has welcomed millions of immigrants to the United States, then how can she stand still? Liberty and freedom from oppression are not things you get or grant by standing around like some kind of statue. No, these are things that require action, courage, an unwillingness to rest. The Statue of Liberty was not built to welcome just 1,886 immigrants from Italy on one certain Sunday in, say, 1886. No, she was built to welcome 3,000 immigrants from Poland the next day. The next day, 5,000 Norwegians. After that, 10,000 Glaswegians. Then Cambodians. Then Estonians, Somalis, Nepalis, Syrians, Liberians. It never ends. It cannot end. After all, the Statue of Liberty is an immigrant too. And this is why she's moving. This is why she's striding. In welcoming the poor, the tired, the struggling to breathe free. She is not content to wait. She must meet them in the sea. I hope you've enjoyed her right foot. I know it's given me a lot to think about. This has been Open Mind Story Time. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. And until next week, take good care and keep reading.
Well, welcome back everyone to the Kids Connection. I'm Thad Beach and I have my ukulele. In my ukulele case, you're probably thinking, oh boy, he's going to play a song. But right now I want to show you what I've been doing lately. I bet a lot of you kids have been doing some time doing some art projects this summer, and I have too, you know. I've done all kinds of new things I never tried before and had a lot of fun. Well, my ukulele case, sometimes I put stickers on it. But I washed it off one time not long ago and sat it out in the sun to dry. And I used to have stickers on the front side, and I guess the sun made them kind of melt, and they started to peel and come off. So I took them off and cleaned it up a little, and I looked at it and I thought, well, you know, I don't have to put stickers on there. Maybe I could make my own design. So I got 3 or 4 different colors of paint. I got some those little tippy things that you clean your ears with. I don't know what the real name for them is, Q-tips or something like that. And I learned how to dip them down in the paint and make little dots. Well, I thought my ukulele case kind of looked like the same shape as my ukulele. So I decided to decorate it up like this. Okay, I think it looks pretty cool. If I did it again, I might do something a little bit different, you know. But it already had the outline of the ukulele. It's kind of curved at the bottom. It comes up. It bends in a little. And the same thing happens on the other side. You got, a lot of you know, that's called symmetry. It keeps on going. I followed on up here, this part of the ukulele, and then it goes out a little and it's a little bit round. So what I did first was I took red, orange, and green colors, and I made 3 little squeezes on a paper plate, and I started dipping in all of my greens, and I spaced them out around just enough. I thought there'd be room for a couple more in there along the way. So it didn't take too long to do it. It was pretty fun. Next thing you know, I had an outline of my ukulele. Well, then I got to looking at my ukulele and I thought, well, what are the different parts? Well, this part right here is called the bridge. So I looked and I made 2 little lines down here with my dots to represent the bridge. Then I came up a little bit higher and said, oh, there's a hole. Now you might notice my hole's a lot bigger than the one on my ukulele, but I thought that was okay, you know. I thought that was okay. I kind of like it being big. It's kind of easy to see from a distance. Now up here at the top, I had the little places where the strings go. And if you know anything about ukuleles, there's 4 strings there. So I made 4 little circles up here, okay? And I used my different patterns of the dots. Oh, on this I had to think a little how to do it. I put a red dot here, a red dot there, 2 greens, and then I finished up with the orange on the side, and I put a little red dot in the middle. So those represent the tuners. This circle represents the sound hole. This line here represents the bridge. Well, I was almost done except for this part of the ukulele, which is called the neck. So that's the part between the body and what is called the head, or the headstock. So a neck on a ukulele has all these little pieces of wire that go sideways or horizontal. And you can see those here. Those are called the frets. But I wanted to make it look kind of cool, so I took my 3 pattern colors and started doing them, and I just made the little dots to make the lines. And I had to add a couple white ones in here to represent my little white dots on my ukulele. So it was kind of fun. Now, you don't have to have a ukulele case to try something like this. You can take any instrument you like, make an outline of it, and then you can get a few colors. Now, I don't like to use too many colors. It makes it complicated. I just pick 3 colors, and that's how I designed this pretty much fun little activity for myself, decorating up my ukulele case. I bet there's lots of things like this you could do, other things you like. Even if you just like circles and squares, you can try some of those with this idea. So, thanks for watching. I'm Thad Beach. Hang around here on the Kids Connection. There's going to be some more fun stuff coming up right when I leave. Take care.
Smile left, smile right, smile all around. Smile left, smile right, smile all happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. Help someone feel like they are brand new. Snap left, snap right, snap all around. Snap left, snap right, snap all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. Jump left, jump right, jump all around. Jump left, jump right, jump all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. Help someone feel like they are brand new. Look left, look right, look at all of your friends. Look left, look right, look at all of your friends. Be happy and spread your smile around. Clap left, clap right, clap for all of your friends. Clap left, clap right, clap for all of your friends. Be happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. Help someone feel like they are brand new. Be happy and spread your smile around.
See, they're actually recording, so usually.
Record. All right, let's see what they're up to. What are they doing?
About 10 to 15.
Some. Gang, gang.
There you go.
What are you people doing?
There you go. You're live. Now they're getting off range.
Action. Stop. Yeah. Done now? All right, good job.
you could eat one thing every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Salad.
Salad! What kind of salad do you like?
Salad with ranch.
With ranch. It is really good. I agree. Okay, let's.
Welcome to Bringing the Zoo to You. I'm Dalton, the cat, bear, and flamingo keeper, and we're with our Indian bears. This is our female, Japora. She's 20 years old, and our male is over in the other yard. His name is Boo Boo. He's 26. They live to be in their upper 20s to 30s, so they're both getting up there. We put them together for breeding access, but usually Japora just wants over to see if Boo left any food or to take his hammock as she currently has. And for enrichment today, they got frozen fish, which is hit or miss for them. Sometimes they eat it, sometimes they don't. They are mainly herbivores, so they eat their fruits and vegetables and greens more so than their meat products. So this is our bear Japora's diet for the morning. We got various fruits and veggies, some frozen fish for enrichment, and some of her maintenance biscuits. And then I'm just spreading it around the yard so she has to search for it, find it, keep her entertained for a little bit. So thank you for tuning into this edition of Bringing the Zoo to You. Hope to see you soon.
Hello everybody, Thad Beach here. I want to show you a little instrument. You might have the stuff around your house. You might not think you've got an instrument sitting around your house because you just might not know. Now, it used to be I had to use a comb a lot more, you know, but as I got older, I didn't have as much hair, so my combs didn't get as much use, you know. So I happened to have an old red comb I hadn't used in a while. I got some wax paper, okay? Now, wax paper is kind of like the paper your family might use when they bake something, stuff doesn't stick on it, it'd be in one of your kitchen drawers. Now, you know, everybody today has to be pretty careful the way things are about putting things in our mouth. So you might see my little hand sanitizer, all this stuff I have, including my hands. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do right now. I'm just going to, since I am going to be touching my mouth, I'm going to put a little of that sanitizer on my hands right now, just to be extra safe. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't smell too bad. They say you got to get your thumbs a little. So, now I've already washed my comb, and I know my paper's kind of clean because I cut these out and they've been sitting around for about a week waiting, you know, so they're safe. Now what you'll do is you'll fold your piece of paper in half, and you'll take your comb and you'll put your paper over your comb. Now the trick is to pull it to the side a little bit, okay? So you have your wax paper on top of the teeth of the comb. These are called the teeth. Part of it has the teeth are smaller and they're closer together, and the other half, they're bigger teeth and they're spaced out a little bit. Now, you put your paper over your comb, fold it in the middle, take your thumbs and finger and kind of stretch it to the side. Now your mouth has to do a job too. You have to go. Can everybody give it a try? Kind of thinking I ought to get my fly swatters out hearing that sound. Sounds like a bunch of flies buzzing around. What'll happen is you get this closer to your lips. Right before you touch them, your lips will start to tickle a little bit. And sometimes it tickles so bad, like you just have to stop. Now you can't press too hard or you'll deaden the sound. So you have to just find that right little touch where it starts to vibrate the paper and the sound gets louder. Now, I play the harmonica a lot. I know on harmonica I move this way and that way to make the notes go up and down. So when I'm playing sometimes, I'll be moving my head around. People sometimes think I'm doing a lot more than I am, but it makes you kind of look cooler doing it like that. Let's try a little tune together. If you don't have a comb and wax paper, you can just start to practice this sound. You put your lips together lightly and you hum, but your hum's got to go into your lips. Let's play that song called This Old Comb. Oh wait, it's This Old Man, but we can call it This Old Comb. Everybody ready? This old man, he played one, he played knick-knack on my comb with a Not a bad start. Let's try one more quick little thing. Remember in music class how you sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the musical scale? Let's try that. Now your natural voice might start out a different place. You don't have to sing the exact same notes I do, but I want you to try to follow along and get all those sounds in. I'll show you what's the most comfortable for me. Oh, that's not it. No, that's too high. Let's try it one last time together. Get your combs ready. If you don't have combs, get your lips ready. 1, 2. Well, I'm Thad Beach. Thanks for stopping by the Kids Connection. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Come back as much as you can. There's a lot of fun stuff going on here at the Kids Connection. Take care.
Thank you for watching Kids Connection. Make sure to watch it next time.